Welcome back to Full Circle with Mwikali. How are you doing? I see your messages and thank you for the love. Love is Brown Mathenge saying my attitude today. Happy birthday to our one and only Mwikali, to more life, love wins. Harusi kwa mkokoteni and send us a picture. Thank you. You guys are hilarious. Eunice Githongori Walondiani unasema penda wewe sana. Pamoja watching from Nyeri is Maina Tony Stati. I really love your programs. Thank you for tuning in. Following out our 40 Jesus Busia is a Rash Bashir wherever Busia. Thank you for tuning in. My attitude right now is I just want to conquer the day. Yes, that is why we're here. I'm here to stay. Switch to good. Wix karibu hii shai na kupenda tu sana Dongo wa Kamau. Thank you very much for that. Watching from Asaku is Beide Astley. And we have one saying, happy birthday, and I really love your smile. Mwikali, asante sana. Happy birthday, ni Alvin kutoka Doni. Good morning, Mwikali. Happy birthday. Blew 1,000 candles. Chibambe, it's Deborah. This is so weird, but so I'll still read them, but it's okay. I take it. I love it. Asanteni. But we need to talk about money. Do you know where you get to, how you get to a point where the money that you're making actually works for you, that you're not running towards it a lot more, that you've created a pattern or, systems that the money now is, who wouldn't want to get into that space? It's time for Money Circle. When it comes to money manenos, Kevin is our guy because he's always coming through with, amazing nuggets of how to make money, take care of money, be wise with money, be responsible with it as well. Karibu, Kevin.
Thank you so much and happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So Leo Pesa is important. We're starting a new year. So I need to look at my money nicely and probably find ways of making it multiply. But what does it mean when people say that money is working for me now?
Yes, this is an everyday question for most people. And it's good to always have that in mind because when money works for you, then it means you are almost getting to self-actualization. There are so many ways you can do it, but then the best is when it actually has a 24-hour running system. Sometimes when you sleep, mostly it's through the net, that globally, even when other people are waking up, there's still money coming in. So there are ways to do it. People open up YouTube channels. You have probably a fintech of sorts. But then come closer, you could have a business that actually, as much as you are doing something else, you put your money into it, and then slowly, everything is just taking, it's a whole chain reaction. At the end of the day, you just check out the balance and the money is there. It's not easy as it sounds.
The way you say it, I'm just looking at you thinking, that sounds easy.
It's not easy. It comes with a lot.
Okay, please tell us.
So the first thing, you have to actually be able to plan. So there is a planning stage, and then there is a capital stage, which is now from the savings that you've gotten into, and then there is a management stage, and then there is a reinvestment stage. So within the planning stage, there are so many issues that come around. Of course, the budget, what are you looking at, which is the environment that you want your business in. Would you be involved like 70% or 100%? Again, is it an obsolete commodity that you're dealing with? That one I'll explain because sometimes, like everyone has done, or most people have done driving school, but then not everyone becomes a driver or makes money out of it. Why is it? Because yes, I have the skills, or probably I've studied something to do with marketing, but that's not where my passion is. So you must also check at your personal traits. I think, and this one is spoken all over, always follow your passion, something that you can do without having to be paid for and actually enjoy it. So when you have your passion and then you marry to your character, Sometimes you could have a passion for this, but your innate nature, your character does not allow. Then is it a business that you can actually venture into? Like probably the guest we just had, his name is doing the gifts.
Yes.
He gets the bubbly moment when he sees the reaction of people. So it's innate in him that he has probably a character of one of the love languages is actually gifting.
Yes.
So you have to really take a very good analysis of yourself before you venture into this business. Thirdly, do you have the capital to actually do it? You could have the passion, you have the right character, but you don't have the money. So then how are you able to make the money work for you, yet you don't have the savings or the capital to do it? The other thing is actually to look at the environment that you want this money to work for you. For example, you have, unfortunately, some countries are very high risk, or neighboring countries. Yes, everything is right, spot on, you have the capital, but then the risk is too much. Like the systems do not work. Some businesses are there, and you may want them to make money for you, but they are very high risk. Are you able to cope with those risks or absorb even those shocks when they come? Then, of course, do you have the capacity to actually manage it? And this is where most people actually fail. We say of side hustle when you're still employed, but then what is your level of involvement with this business? You must actually sit down and actually know, will I be passing there every evening, every morning? Do I have CCTV cameras? Do I have somebody, point person who I really, really trust? Can I manage it when I'm at home? Just using the internet or something. That's my level of involvement. Is it aligning to probably how will I make this venture successful? So those are some of the things that you look at, and then you find out, will this money actually really make something out of it? And of course, once you get the money, you must also take care of the expenses, because you could have this capital. This business could be giving you 1 million, but probably the expenses, the taxes, you must also check the taxes. Most people do not check that are going to be involved. Registration, does it enjoy a VAT exemption? When you import, what are the rates? I mean, those are dynamics that most people fail to, even in small importation kind of goods, because you could think probably you need 1 million, but then when they get to the ports, you don't have the taxes. So that's why you hear KRA auctioning things, because people do not plan before and know exactly to the nitty-gritties what does it entail.
Oh my goodness. So for the side hustle, you need to be on top of things. I once tried farming, and I was I was in Nairobi, and the shamba is God knows where. So you become a mobile farmer. So what happened is, the person who was taking care of it got leased their own farm. So as I buy my own fertilizer, they are gawaiing half of it for their own farm. So I'm not getting the best. So I totally understand. If it's going to be a side hustle, you need to be on top of things.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So is it possible, would you recommend for someone to borrow money to be able to put into this other business that will continue generating money for them, away from, kawaida pesa wako nayo, just get a loan for that?
Yeah, and I think many people battle with that, because I highly doubt you can pick very successful people who have not borrowed.
That's true.
The only thing is, when you borrow, what are your returns that you're expecting? What is your return on investment, ROI? Is it able to pay up the loan and leave you with something? If you have those calculations with you, and of course you can get experts, like I usually say, it's not wrong to ask. It's not wrong to consult. You could have been successful in other businesses, but does not necessarily mean that this particular one will be successful, because you may miss one and it's not a casting stone, or one size fits all. So what you do is that you are able to know the return on investment that you're expecting. You have a proper planning and proper calculation of numbers. Then probably your loan is about 18, 15 or 20%. Then for it to be a bit viable, then you should be making around 25 or 30%, so that you factor in the cost of capital. If you're able to save and amass this capital, with time, then of course the better. I mean, you can avoid as much as you can, but always have those numbers with you, so that even as much as you're using the capital that is borrowed, then you can actually use money to make more money through loan facilities that are within your scope. And I think I want to advise also, when I advise farmers, mostly I find them a bit, and it's good you mentioned that you fall in that category. Most farmers are very rife to get a lot of loans, or rather huge amounts of loans. But they do not have proper bookkeeping. They don't have accountings. Like, do they bank? You find somebody's a farmer, they have harvested, and the money goes into their personal account, where they do all the mambo jambos. I mean, wanafanya kila kitu hapo ndani.
Ile account tu moja.
Ile account tu moja.
Ikifika ni time ya kupanda tena, unapata hauna do.
Exactly. So unakuta the same account anatumia kulipa huu mse wa farm. So when you actually ask them, okay, you are a farmer. Is it a business? Yes. How much do you make? They don't have numbers. And you probably are doing very well, very successful. And you get to a point where now even banks are approaching you, telling you, hey, I think you're doing well. I think, can we loan you? Which is your account? And that's where everything goes south. And then you're like, okay, I've not been doing bookkeeping. But with time, people learn. You get to learn the ropes of these things. And if you have proper bookkeeping, accounting, for more established businesses, you need to have audited accounts for huge amounts of loans, because of, again, it depends with which tier you want. And that way you keep growing. You keep growing, but you must also be intact. Know where your leakages are. It's like you have a bag and it has a hole, and you don't know where it is seeping from. So you must be really intact and on top of things. Just like you're saying.
You know, as much as tunasema take a loan, then there's the debt bit of it that you need to take care of as well. So as much as you're taking, how do you manage your debt kulipa, making sure that you're constantly not in debt, but now the business has picked up? What are some of the tips that you'd give people who want to get into that space of, growing their money to the next level?
Debt is usually a dicey affair, I keep saying. But before you get into it, learn first of all, does that kind of debt have a moratorium of sorts? That doesn't moratorium. Moratorium is a grace period where you don't pay interest. You only pay into the principal amount. So, for example, if I borrow 100,000 and my interest is 10%, then if I have a moratorium of 1 year, I'll only be paying whatever I'm due for that 100,000 divided by the number of years. Probably it's a 5-year loan. So some loans usually have a moratorium period, especially mortgages, when they're trying to sell to customers. Then you must learn, first of all, which is the best interest rate that is around for loans. They vary from bank to bank. Within that, also check the charges that come with it. Some are quite high, and they hide behind those service fee loan. I mean, it's crazy when you're about to sign. Check the fine print, because one could, of course, it's a marketing gimmick. Say that our loans we are giving a 10%, but when you check actually exactly the fine print, and you translate into the figures, then it comes to about 20%. So it's just a play around with the numbers. That's the other tip that you need to check. Know what is your time period for repayment. What is your time period? They vary from 1 year. Some you can't go beyond 2 years, 1 year, 5 years. And I think personal loans I've seen up to 7 years. There and above, over and above 7 years is usually mortgages. But then just plan within that. Keep it as short as possible, because the longer the term, the higher the interest. For those who know how to use an Excel system, there is somewhere you go and check the loan amortization as one of the templates. So even me, I use it. As much as I probably know these numbers, I use it before I try and get into probably a loan. So what I do, I put in the numbers, it asks me the rate, the period, then check. There's a column there for interest rate. So the longer the period, the higher the amount of interest you are going to pay into. And is it worth? I mean, if your business can be able to sustain and recover for that particular business in about 1 year, why should you spread it to 5 years? Just put it within manageable levels. Check your expenses, check the taxes, check probably how do you, the capital that you need to reinvest to get more stock. Check all that within those numbers and be able to make sure that the loan that you're getting versus the return that you're getting is able actually to sustain the business, and it is the shortest time possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, there's some businesses that probably most people wanasemanga pesa najitengeneza tu nikiwa nimelala. Probably like say Forex trading. And you can lose everything within a blink of an eye. Would you suggest or, you know, recommend for people who are trying out to get into that business, using a broker or not? And what would be the guidelines for that kind of business?
I see it's a catching trend.
It is.
And for sure, you can actually make money, but make sure you have, first of all, a registered broker to be able to do that.
Okay.
Because some people claim to be doing it, but then it's a hoodwink. They are doing something else.
Yeah.
So what you do, first of all, check, are they registered? Because Capital Markets Authority is able to tell you whether locally or globally, is it legit. Once you're able to establish that, then you now sit in with your relationship person or manager or someone who's actually assigned to you. Then you tell them, I have a portfolio, I have a capital base of about probably 100,000, and I need to play around with or rather you invest in the Forex for probably US dollar to Swiss currency. I mean, because that exchange sometimes is where the difference comes in.
Yes.
And you can actually make money out of it. But it has to be somebody very experienced. They're very legit and registered. And know how much you can actually put in, because again, it is one of the high risk kind of investment.
Very high
and
risk.
The principle of economics still applies. High risk, high returns. So with equal measure, the much you put in, it has a high element of risk when it comes to Forex trading. So which means you can either lose or gain. And actually that's one of the riders they tell you. When you're going to Forex trading kind of investment. They tell you there's a small fine print, like, you know, it's a very high risk investment kind of portfolio. So just be aware that the much you probably can see you can gain is equal with the same measure the much you can lose. Yeah.
So you just get in knowing that this is it. I will probably get it or lose it all.
I prefer stocks when it comes to that.
Yes.
Because stocks is a very and it's there in the public domain.
Yes.
Like if I read the newspaper and I learn of a company that is actually in Kenya and is going East Africa, for example, of course, the numbers, will just pick up. Probably they have acquired another bank, for example. The numbers will pick up. So it's there in the public domain as long as you do not flout the CMA insider kind of trading. But then if it's in the public domain, you just automatically know. If you are very keen, you'll see. These shares probably are going at 30 shillings now. If they have acquired, of course, this will go up to about 40. And that's how you do it. And use actually the information that you gather that is within the public domain to actually get you more money. And stocks, they can actually go up as much as even 15 or 10% in a single day. So you can acquire on Monday, and the other Monday you're selling and you have your load of cash. Yeah.
You have been advised. Kevin, thank you for always coming through with this amazing financial wisdom.
Yes.
We like it. We're here for it. How can people get directly in touch with you?
My Twitter handle is at Muriuki Kevin. My line is 0712 502 990.
Okay.
Yes.
Asante sana.
Thank you so much.
We're going to take a very short commercial break. We'll be right back. This is Full Circle with Wikali.